listening to the Afterbuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the Afterbuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Afterbuzz TV's Fashion Star After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Fashion Star After Show.
260 for my shirt. 260 for my shirt.
Sexy. Yeah.
What? Dance. All right. I'm just waiting for the music to end. Hey guys, if you are tuning in right now, this is the AfterBuzz After Show for Fashion Star, and it happens to be the finale. Wah wah. It's been quite a 10 weeks, and of course we don't disappoint. We don't like to disappoint you guys, and we have quite a few special guests in the studio with us today. So I'm not going to waste any time because we have so much, just
So much going on.
so much goodness, So to my right is our special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is David Appel. I was a contestant on Fashion Star. Yes, my voice is sexy. Thank you.
You do have a good voice.
That's why we
Thank
played
you.
that song.
Yeah.
Oh, and would you like to introduce yourselves across the table?
Hey guys, it's Virginia.
And I'm Erica Vieira.
And it's a little loud out there. I guess there's a lot of good juiciness going on in the AfterBuzz studio.
Yeah,
because
there's a
we
lot
can
of
hear
excitement
everybody,
tonight.
a lot of excitement. And of course, I'm Deanna Vaughn, and we are here to bring you lots of highlights from the finale show. And I also want to remind you to make sure you download us on iTunes. It's completely free, FREE. Who doesn't, love free stuff? And we also really, really encourage you guys to rate us. We've got like 4.5 stars out of 5, which is
Nice.
pretty amazing, right?
So
you
rate
guys?
us 5 stars to get us back up to 5 stars.
Rate us, and of course we love your comments, your feedback, your suggestions. The whole season we've told you guys to share, and we listen, we read. So just keep that coming, even though it's the last episode. Keep it coming. All right.
Let's tell everyone who we have as more special guests for this episode.
Okay, well, I kind of didn't want to say anything because, traffic, but okay.
I think we should say.
We also have Johanna. She's going to be joining us. Johanna Hernandez. She was also a contestant this season on Fashion Star.
She's back in the studio. It's her
back
second
in the studio.
time.
Yep. And then we have a couple people calling in. Erica DeSalvatore. She was one of the buyers from Express. She's going to be calling in. I used to work with Erica
Yay.
back when I wanted to slip my wrist. Anyway, and also Cassandra. Cassandra's going to be calling in. So we've got like a big packed show for you guys tonight. But until, then we've got sexy
David holding down the
designer
fort.
holding down the
Yes.
fort. So let's get started. So it was the finale. It was down to 3 designers. Let's see here. Hunter, Daniel, and Cassandra, right?
One for each mentor.
Yeah, one for each mentor. Now, do you think that happened do you think that's really how it went down, or do you think that's a little producing?
Some of our guests have said it's really how it went down. I think it was a little bit producing, in my opinion, because it's way too neat and nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of like really each one of them. Because what would have happened, say, if all of Nicole's team was gone or all of Jessica's team? I'm sure she would have still been there, but it would not have been the same.
Agreed.
So I think it was a little bit of producing.
Well, we have an insider sitting next to us. Let's get your opinion on this.
I definitely think that it wasn't set up like that. It just sort of happened. I think every single person was good that was there. But it definitely did help that all 3 had a contestant. So it definitely worked out. I don't think anybody would be as involved if they weren't there or they didn't have a contestant. But I think that they probably, if it wasn't all 3, like maybe one of them would have worked with the other designer, would have been like a free-floating mentor and work with all 3 of them or all 2 of them, whatever one.
I mean, if you think back to the previous episode when it was down to Jessie, Ray, and Garrett, I mean, I did think at the time they were the weakest.
So,
Right.
you know, I don't think anybody else would have gone in place of them.
Okay.
Who else do you think would have gone if it was going to be something set up?
Sylvia.
Well, she
But
was
she's been
already
gone for a
she was
while.
already gone.
So
Is there
Okay.
a little animosity there between
no.
you and Sylvia?
No.
No?
No, he's saying she's good.
Oh, you're saying she's good and she
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
been
She
there.
was
Oh,
great.
I totally agree with you.
She
I
was
think she
great.
should have
So
been
why
there
are you
instead of
trying to get
Cassandra.
up on me?
No. I'm just we like the drama here.
We have a caller.
Oh, we have a
Ooh, so
caller.
soon.
Who's the caller?
Caller, you're on the air with AfterBuzz TV's Fashion Star After Show.
Hello. Who are we speaking to? Hello.
Caller.
Well, I guess
What's going on? Okay.
they disconnected. They'll be back.
Okay.
All right, she'll be back.
All right. So here's what I want to know, David. You part of the cast, one of the designers. At what point were you eliminated?
I was eliminated the 3rd round.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you think? Like now that you've had time to reflect and you've seen the rest of the show and you've seen who won, like, do you think like you should have had a different strategy? Are you happy with how?
Yeah, I probably should have watched the show before I was on it. I didn't even watch an episode. I didn't
you
even
didn't
see
watch the
season
first
1.
season.
No.
Oh.
I mean, but
Okay.
realistically, how much of a difference do you think that would have
Oh,
made?
huge difference.
And how? Share with
I
us.
would
Yeah.
I would have prepared for making sure I had all. I mean, most of the people had like their line. They pretty much designed their line that they
Okay.
designed for. I mean, I did a little bit, but I wanted something new. I wanted something totally different. And when they said the first one was make a wow piece, make something
A showstopper.
Showstopper. I tried. I mean, I even did a whole thing where they rip off the sleeves and stuff like that.
twofer.
A twofer, whatever they
Jess
want to
loves.
call it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So you're saying they came in with like exactly what they were going to do for the whole
I
season?
think so. I
So
think,
like they
I
had
think,
sketches. Y'all were allowed to bring
no,
that sort of stuff in.
But I mean, come on.
Or at least with the strategy.
You're in a band and you're a guitarist. You play the same song over again. You don't bring in your sketch pad when you're going to go write again, do you? So you have it in your mind. You know what you're doing. You know what you've done before in the past, and you just do it again.
Right.
Well, each one, and I think that's part of even what made the contestants at the end almost favorites, or kind of the reason why they stayed at the end is because they definitely had a very specific style. I mean, you saw a collection of Daniels or Cassandra's and Hunter. You knew that was there. So they had a signature and they already had a line. And in some ways, it's like that's what was expected of them.
And even through the audition process, like you didn't get a sense of like, okay, I'm gonna have to design for these 3 stores, and yet still keep my vision. Like you still didn't get a sense of that.
Not really. I was just excited to do some different stuff. I was just excited to do something different.
Yeah.
And I think the first season, we were still trying to figure out what was going on because they were like, okay, you're going to be the next fashion star. And when they started talking about collections, we didn't know, is it going to be home goods that you were making? Because they kind of gave you that it could be anything because if you're going to be that fashion brand. So even this season, it was kind of like, you're going to do menswear, you're going to do women's wear. What are you really going to be doing? They don't really tell you. It's just kind of like, okay, this week, this is what we need from you.
Now, what was the outfit that got you sent home?
I mean, it really shouldn't have got me sent home, but let's just be honest with you.
What was it?
It was a reversible cardigan. And the thing,
I remember that.
the thing about it is that
I like that.
yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
He's a little sassy over
Yeah.
here.
The thing about it is that I've done big and tall before, and there's nothing out there for them. And great, you can make a polo, you can make a button down, but they don't get the good stuff. They don't get the cool stuff. So I wanted to make something cool for them. Unfortunately, I was on my way out.
Unknowingly.
That's too bad. So what are your thoughts of the 3 contestants that were at the end?
Yeah.
Was that something that
All
you
definitely should have been there. I mean,
Okay.
when I walk, I'm pretty good at, reading people right when you meet them. When I walk into the room with all the contestants before you even meet everybody, I knew who was good and who wasn't good. I remember Cassandra, she didn't say anything to anybody. She was really just, sort of dark and, not
Kept
really
to herself.
talk to her. Like, she's like, I'm going to come here and I'm going to win and I'm not talking to anybody and that's it. Later, I mean, she's super nice and such a sweetheart. And then Daniel too, you knew that he had it. He was very, very confident. And Hunter came in as, she was quiet, but she came in as, definitely somebody to reckon with.
Now, outside of yourself, of course, obviously, Who do you think got sent home too early and should have stayed a little longer in the competition?
Besides myself.
Besides yourself, yes.
Just want to throw that one in there again. Besides myself, you know, I really wish that Brett would have got more of a chance. I think that
Somebody else said that. I think one of our other guests said
I just
that
think
too.
that, you know what, because I have a whole booklet of stuff that I had before just studying and stuff, and it was all women's. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go show everybody I can do women's. And when you get there, you're like, You're like, no way, I'm not doing this. This is crazy. So he was one person, but honestly, I think everybody, you know, besides a couple things, you know, I think everybody really went where they were supposed to go. So it doesn't prove that fact of maybe it is produced that way. So everybody really went where they showed,
They went,
where they
when they should have left, or
Yeah, it
besides
was like
a couple
their time.
people. I mean, I should have, you know, won a couple more shows. Of course.
All right. Well, I just got a text from Erica, and it's kind of ironic. Somebody hit her car.
No.
And you got in a car accident on
Yeah.
the way here, so that's why. So I'm not sure she's going to be.
But see,
I
the
called
difference,
in.
So
the difference is somebody hit her car. See, I hit somebody's car. No,
Ouch.
actually, no. Somebody hit me. Sorry. Somebody hit
Somebody
me.
hit you?
Yeah, somebody did hit me.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Cover
me.
those
well, I'll
bases
tell
for the insurance.
Cassandra just to call in.
Somebody did hit me. Again.
All right, and remind us, whose team were you on?
I was on Jessica's team.
Jessica's team. So tell us about your experience with Jessica. Like, was she very accessible? Did you get good advice from her? Like, how was that?
Jessica was great. Such a sweetheart, super nice. Always was available for, you know, any question when you had one, you know, when they were there at the studio. You know, as far as men's go, because I was doing men's, you know, she wasn't so knowledgeable at men's. And women's, I
Right.
mean, you don't have to have a fashion brand to know women's fashion.
That's true.
They know clothing. That's what they live for. That's what they put on every day. So,
Right.
you know, as far as men's goes, it was a little tough. But she does have a, you know, a fashionable, you know, fiance at the time, husband now, or I think so. I'm not sure.
Fiance still, I think.
Fiance still?
Yeah. But do you? So are you saying you maybe would have had a better chance if you would have been with John, or were you even able to reach out to John?
No, actually, John. I mean, John did come over. They didn't air anything, but John did come over and helped me out for two, you know, contests. He's such a cool guy, and I mean, it was so much better because he knows fabrics. Like,
Right.
He knows men's fashion. He knows those buyers. He's there. He's done it before. I mean, I'm supposed to know those buyers too. I mean, I deal with those buyers too, or the buyers that are in the men's divisions of those great stores. So, but yeah, he did help out.
We do have a caller.
Oh, okay. Caller.
You're on the line with AfterBuzz TV's at Fashion Star After Show.
Hello, is this Cassandra?
Hi,
Hi.
it's Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra.
Hey.
Ah,
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling
Hey,
in.
David.
What's up, baby? You're tuning in.
Oh, David, the
I
dead
know.
muffin of Fashion
know.
Star.
I know. He's just right here, and we get his nice husky voice.
Yeah, we like his radio
Yeah,
voice.
it's nice.
I'm trying to prove a point here.
Well, thanks so much for calling
You
in,
guys
Cassandra.
hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
Yeah,
Perfectly.
Oh, okay.
So, are you coming off of a high from the finale of the show?
You know, honestly, I was kind of relieved that it was over. You know, like David was saying, on the first, like, it was such a fun experience filming it, and I was kind of like the one I didn't even have a cell phone with me. David probably remembers, and I really wanted to just be there and like enjoy the experience of making a TV show more than like focusing on my designs. Like, I think David and I had that in common where like I didn't plan to prepare at all either. I was kind of like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go and do this, and then just kind of take it as I go and like enjoy making a TV show more than, you know, thinking about designing. Like David and I were always kind of goofing off, and you know, I didn't have any like sketches planned. I didn't do anything from like my lookbooks or anything like that. In those 15 minutes that we had to sketch, I really kind of just thought of the design there. And yeah, I think David and I kind of had the same. David, you could disagree with me if I'm just making this out, but we really were trying to like be funny and entertaining.
For sure.
just
I tried as much as possible to be.
I wish I focused on my designs a bit more. Like watching it back, I'm like, oh my god. And after the show ended, I had like fashion star nightmares for like 3 months. Did you, David? I had dreams where I was like, you shouldn't have done that. You should have put a button there. And I'm like, oh my god, Cassandra, you can't change it.
Well, Cassandra, you obviously.
Weird. I'd wake up and I'd think that the cameras were like still in my apartment.
Oh my god.
They were never in my apartment. What's going on? When did they come into your apartment?
You obviously did something right though, because you made it all the way to the finale. I mean, your designs were amazing. I mean, how was that experience for that last episode? You know, you against Daniel, against Hunter, and just that the whole experience. Like, can you explain to us a little bit how it went?
Yeah, the finale was really awesome. I think my nerves like really started to ease up at that point because it was like the three of us, all three of the mentors actually helped all of us. Like it wasn't just like John helping me, like all the mentors, like Nicole and Jessica went over our sketches, and Jessica was just telling me to not do things that only models could wear. I was like, yes. And it was like, it was fun. It was kind of nerve-wracking getting it all done because we had 3 days, I think, to finish it.
I don't know how you did that, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. 3 days for how many? Was
9 looks.
Three collections for each store.
You could do up to 3 pieces per look. So I know kind of all of us were kind of, you know, helping each other out. Like I was like, okay, Hunter, Daniel, are you guys doing some like dumb pieces too? Because I don't have time to do like everything good. I'm like, I'm aiming for like one good thing per capsule. Like I set my standards really low, obviously, and yeah, it was tough. I was just like bribing all my sewers. I offered marriage to a couple of them. I was like, I did. Luis, David remembers Luis. Like I would always like flirt with him and offer him some Canadians.
We have a lot in common. I would have done the same thing. I was doing the same thing.
I'd offer them Canadian citizenship for the free health care.
So out of those designs that you did for the finale, are there any that you just like so proud of, and then any that you just like, like what were your favorites and least favorites of your collections?
I loved the like sacks, the blouse, and the pants. I loved that one. I actually liked the one that he didn't like, the rosettes, because that's kind of like my personal style. Like, I wish it kind of explained more like my brand throughout the series and like my design aesthetic and my style, because I feel like people were kind of like, I don't get it. Like, they never mentioned my brand name once, so it's kind of like, I don't get where she's coming from or her past experience. Or, you know, I feel if they maybe explained kind of my brand and like my background, people would have got me a bit more, because you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like just suddenly, like, out of nowhere, like, it was just kind of bits and pieces of me injected in, but there was really no kind of, like, explanation of what I've done with my career, like, my brand, so, you know, or, like, my design aesthetic.
I definitely feel like when I was watching you, that's kind of what I was confused about. I wanted to know more, but I was like, is it edited out? I really couldn't understand. And even now, I'm just like, who is your girl? Like, can you say, you know, who you're designing for?
So for me, my personal aesthetic is really like, I wear my personal clothes wardrobe is usually like all black, leather, like Rick Owens.
Very New Yorker.
Did you wear anything but black on the show? Because I don't remember seeing you in anything but black.
Hey, Cassandra.
I dress, so obviously I couldn't send like everything black on the runway. And my own line, Pros, is like very. It's all kind of about the styling. Like it's mostly separate, and it's very kind of minimal, casual draping, a lot of leather, and silk jerseys, a lot of knits. It's kind of casual. It's like a downtown, edgy, tomboyish kind of vibe. I would
Cassandra,
describe it as a little bit more. Yeah.
Can you hang on for a quick second? We're gonna have pictures pulled up of your last collections. Stephen, can you pull up Cassandra's?
They're just pull up the pictures.
Yeah.
Please.
Pull up the pictures now, man. Come on.
So everyone can see.
So these are Daniel's.
That's Daniel's.
So if we go through it. And then, all right, here's Cassandra's. Okay,
here's
Steven.
Cassandra, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, so I always try to do I like things to be a little bit sporty and casual because I'm like low maintenance lazy. Like I like to sleep in my clothes and then wear them.
We're looking at this
during
blue
the day
dress
with,
right now you
heels.
did, though. This blue dress you did, I mean, that's not black. It's blue.
Yeah.
And it's bright blue.
I know.
It does not look like anything you would
so
do.
Well, and you know what,
that's
Cassandra?
my personal aesthetic, but I my background too. Like I worked for Catherine Malandrino. I worked at LA Safari.
That's
so,
where it comes from.
So I can do the feminine stuff, but I kind of wish they explained that because it's like, okay, I'm kind of like a little different. But I love the Express collection.
You nailed the Express collection. That Express collection was fantastic.
Pardon?
I said you really nailed the Express collection. I really feel like you captured exactly who she was. And a question for you, I know that you guys met with each of the buyers from the stores and you got a little bit of advice. They kind of, let you know what they wanted to see from you. How hard was it to take the advice that you were given, but still, wanting to stay true to who you are and infuse, Cassandra into each collection? How hard was that?
Actually, I really liked it. Like, I like getting feedback. I've been working for other brands for almost 10 years now, so I'm kind of used to it. That's why I don't think it's a big deal to criticize other people's stuff and get feedback. I listen to it. But I did have to it was hard for me to do things sexy. I hardly ever show skin. I have tons of tattoos at the end. Louise was like, "Do you have tattoos?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You've never shown an ounce of flesh." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So, it was really, you just kind of have to keep your hand in it and your DNA in it. But I did find it hard because, like I said, I'm not really used to doing things like form-fitting and sexy, short, tight. I like things oversized. I like layers. But with that, I think just my experience, of designing for other people for so long, I was most nervous about that because I stopped doing my brand when I worked at LA Tahari because it was a conflict because I was a head designer there. And I was like, I don't know if I can remember what my aesthetic is because I've been living in Catherine Malandrino's brain for the past year.
Right.
And obviously we couldn't do embroidery on the show in a day and a half. So it was hard. And, as David can attest to too, we were faced with a lot of restrictions. It's not like we, if we did something super simple, designers know when you do something super simple on a cheap polyester fabric, it's just going to look cheap.
So what kind of restrictions did you have? What did you guys have to, follow?
Well, we, just fabric-wise even, I know a lot of us, I think Hunter was one of them as well. I get inspired by fabric when I'm designing, I think a lot of designers do. When you see a fabric, you can kind of then, a style comes to your mind because, every style is affected by the fabrication. So we would design first, though, and then we'd have to meet with our pattern maker and give them our sketch. And obviously you'd have in your head what you kind of wanted the fabric to be, but we'd go to Rag Finders, which is a huge, warehouse of all the fabrics. So if you don't find the right fabric, you're going to come back to your pattern maker and your pattern's already going to be done. And so,
I change it up every single time.
You have an hour to buy fabric, so you're going through all the fabric and you're like, please let me find something that works.
Well, you know what? We have another designer that just joined us in the studio. We have Johanna.
Hello, guys. Diva Drama's in the house.
So it's like a mini reunion for all of you guys.
Yeah, I love it. Johanna would call me flow drama because I was always wearing flowy oversized.
No, you said you look like Jesus every day. She's like, I get inspired by what Jesus wore. I'm like, you're crazy because she's always wearing black big clothes and she's so beautiful.
Okay, so we have three of you guys here, and this is what I want to know because we had Jesse Ware and Garrett here a couple weeks ago. We had Caprice in last week, and we just want to know, was there any drama amongst, the designers? Because so far we've heard very PC versions that no, everything was fine, and we loved each other, and it was love fest.
Cassandra and I were boxing. Cassandra and I got in fights, my wig came off, everyone found out my hair was blonde.
Really? I didn't know that.
I got my hair extensions.
Yeah.
That's what we want to know.
They didn't let us have. They didn't.
I mean, I think the only thing is everybody probably knows I didn't like Amber's dress, and that kind of like caused a ruckus. But that was really about it.
Yeah. Cassandra, I loved you during that episode because it was funny because you were so vocal about like what you thought, or at least to the camera. And it was funny. It's like you were honest. You're like, I don't like that dress.
Well, and you totally called her out too.
I actually like explained like why I didn't like it at the beginning. I was just like, from my experience, I used to do plus size for one of the companies I worked for. I told her, I was like, I was worried for you because you can wear a bra with it, and then you also didn't listen to Caprice, like you just still did like the same kind of dress, that you're wearing right now. And, and I felt really bad when I apologized to her twice, and I didn't want any tension because we had to work together on the next challenge. I actually felt bad. But, I mean, at the same time, like, I've had bosses bark at my collections and tell me they look like dogs in front of, like, the head Bloomington buyer. So I'm like, it's just clothes. Like, I'm like a gothic little Olsen twin. I'm not going to like a neon orange lace dress.
All right, so
yeah.
No, I was going to say, you had your beef with Amber. Let's go around the room. Johanna, would you like to share? Now, we already know, we saw you and Daniel when you had the competition where you guys had to pair off.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
She won a car.
That did not work out. But in the end, you guys really came together. Like, did you have any other dissension with other designers?
Yeah, well, the funny part is, like I know, Cassandra, you probably experienced this too. Like, we didn't know, like, when people were in their little rooms, like, talking one-on-one, we didn't know what they were saying. Yeah. So when I was working, I didn't know it was that big of a drama. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I must say, and Johanna can contest this too, like, I think viewers just think that we're in a room, like, pouring our guts out. Like, we're being asked questions, and we're just answering them, So for me, like, I just answered the question, like, honestly, what I thought. And I'm very, like, a cynical, kind of sarcastic person, which, like, I make fun of myself 10 times more than I make fun of anybody else. I'm really self-deprecating.
But the show was like,
I was always just trying to be funny, but like it kind of got cut down to being kind of mean, which I feel bad, like, but I mean, I would say it to anybody's face too, like attached with laughs. Like when I
but in the show, Cassandra, like
their jacket looked like a prison jacket.
Yeah, it was like so crazy. Like in there, like you were just like you had so little time to do everything that if you got yourself caught in drama, it would just slow you down. So for me, like I was like I didn't know of the things that were happening until I watched the show. To be honest, like really, like oh my gosh, like I didn't know that made that happen.
So it wasn't as bad as what we saw with you and Daniel.
We're all not sleeping, and when we were in those interviews, I don't know about you, Johanna and David, like I was so stressed out about what was going on with my garments out there that I was just like, it was hard to focus on the actual.
And the funniest part was that, the funniest part is that they would call us when we're the most tired.
Oh, yeah.
So we would just be like,
or when you're the most stressed out and you're freaking out. They know when you're freaking out. They know it. They see you freaking out and they're like, get in here now. And you're like, no, 2 hours, give me 2 more hours. And then they get you, and then they
like,
tell you.
They're like, drink this Red Bull.
Yeah.
They're like, drink
and
this
gummy
Red
bears
Bull.
at the same time. So you're like, ah!
They're like, Cassandra's talking shit. Oh, sorry, am I not?
No, you're cool.
Oh, okay, sorry.
All right, so let's get to you. Was there anybody that you didn't kind of get along with?
No, and that's one thing that I really wish would have happened.
You really?
If they just didn't let us do that. They didn't let us time. It was like,
no
go
room
home.
for drama.
No room for drama. Like that's what. That's the awesome part about this. And like we get back to the hotel, and obviously we're so tired, but we would have hung out with each other, and but it wasn't like that. There was no time for drama. The only drama was within yourself and whatever they, the producers came up with. The people who are interviewing you, like, Cassandra's talking about.
Yeah.
Cassandra, you're talking about everyone over here.
They definitely try to get.
They would confront me, and I'd be like, yeah, I did say that. Like, it's not a big deal. That's what I really liked actually about Johanna, and I think that shows Johanna's like professionalism and her maturity as a professional in the design industry. Like there was drama that went on with her and Daniel, and actually them both, and they were just like, you know what, like let's just move on. Let's not like hold a grudge, That's what kind of upset me about the Amber thing. Is like I felt really bad. Like I didn't want to hurt her feelings, And
come on now, you felt really bad.
I did. I actually. It's funny how it played on TV because it didn't it played out differently, like in real life. But I did feel bad, but it was like the ongoing grudge kind of thing, like not being able to move past the fact I didn't like her dress. It then just started to bother me more, and I'm like,
but Amber
okay,
was like,
well.
in the. I mean, for me, like she was really cool. I think all of us have our own aesthetic, so everyone's very different. So that's why like not all of us like each other's designs because not all of us design that way. So I think, I mean, for Cassandra and Amber, I mean, they're in the same team, so they're able to like they have to work together. That's why Cassandra expressed herself. But I mean, Amber was like really awesome, and it was just really nice. I mean, in the beginning, she was getting like the highest bids. Remember, Daniel? Like, it was just like so many like high bids.
I actually said to her after like that whole dress thing, I said, you should be laughing at me because like, what do I know? I seriously don't know what I'm talking about because you're in Saks. Like, you should just be like laughing at me for not liking your dress, like being like, girlfriend. Like, I'm in Saks, so who cares what you think?
Cassandra,
I'm not the one cutting. I'm not the one cutting the checks, so you shouldn't really care what I think because I clearly don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, so Cassandra,
designed that horrible motors. I designed that horrible
She talks
motors
a lot,
because
doesn't she? I mean, you can't even get anything in there. Do you not talk to anybody when you're out and about? I mean, when you get a chance to talk, you just start talking. I love
All right, let's change gears a little bit. So, Cassandra, would you, at the beginning of the season or this whole experience for you, did you expect that you would be there as one of the finalists? Were you like, yes, I'm going to win this thing? Or were you, because you were portrayed kind of as the dark horse, but what were your thoughts?
No, I didn't think I was going to be at all. Like, every week I was like, I can't believe I'm still here. And actually on the finale, like before we went on the stage, I looked at Hunter, like backstage, I looked at her and I'm like, you won, you're going to win. So I knew it was going to be Hunter in my gut. Like from early on, I knew it was going to be Hunter, my gut. So I was just happy
I never knew you were a dark horse, by the way. I was like, she's not a dark horse.
Well, just one final thing, Cassandra, that our listeners want to know, what is next for you? Where can we find you?
Well, right now I'm actually working on a give back project with a friend of mine, which is really good. I need to prove to people that I do have a heart. I'm not made of coal. Just joking. It's called Save Another Life Today, and we're going to be launching it later this year. And it's the website and the Twitter is all the same handle, Save Another Life Today, and it's a one-for-one thing, kind of like Tom's shoes. So everyone has to stay tuned for that. It's made in the USA, which is cool. And then, I'm looking for a job, so anybody out there who wants to hire me, I'm available. David?
I'd hire you.
David, are you hiring? Okay, great.
So that is what I was going to ask you as well. So how has Fashion Star maybe changed your life and your career and everything?
You're probably just now finding out, so.
I mean, not anything yet. I'm hoping something. I mean, it's cool to kind of connect me with my hometown, Canada, because I haven't been back there for 10 years. And so, some people that you like worked so hard to get out of your life come back in. But it's cool to kind of have that experience to share with fellow Canadians. So, I mean, that's been really nice in my family. And my older brother in Australia, he's watching, so it's cool to kind of have an international feeling, like fan base. But other than that, I mean, nothing yet. I'm hoping something. We'll have to wait and see.
All right.
That's like my final plea is like someone hire me.
That has definitely been something really awesome about Fashion Star is that the show airs in 150 countries, so you get fans from all over the world, like when China, Malaysia, Thailand, and I think it's really great for us because I mean, if it wasn't for Fashion Star, we wouldn't be able to show our work to the whole world in one shot,
Right.
So that's been really good for all of us, I think.
And I have to say too, like I'm really glad that Hunter and I have become friends after the show, and it's been really nice finding out like our mutual friends and that. So I mean, it's an experience that we all shared together, and I feel like regardless if we keep up the relationships or not, it's something special to look back on.
Definitely.
And, so whatever happens, but I don't regret it at all. It was such a fun, amazing, cool, surreal experience.
Well, we really appreciate you calling in, Cassandra. I think we've got another caller before we wrap the show, but Thanks for calling in. And I don't know, it was just really good to get some background from the show and, you know, just some behind the scenes. And we know that you don't have a heart made of coal. And
thanks so much, guys.
yeah, thank you so much.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Cassandra. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. All right, so we're back in the studio with
just the
Johanna
five of us.
and David. Now, here's a question I've been burning to ask David. Burning.
I don't have a girlfriend. Sorry. Is that what you're asking me?
Oh, damn. No, here's what I want to ask you. You are in a competition that's, you know, normally dominated by women, because there were three male designers
Yeah, well,
in the
it's
competition?
No, there was
No,
five.
it was...
Well, Jesse Ray and Garrett.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jesse Ray Garrett.
The boys.
David.
Yeah, David,
Brandon.
Daniel, Brandon.
And Brett.
I would say
Brett.
2 that did men's, though. Did design men's.
Exactly,
It didn't really
to
matter
design
what you
men's
were,
clothing.
guy
Right.
or girl.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's what you
mattered what
design.
you were designing.
Well, but here's the other thing. We had Caprice here, and we were talking about men's fashion last week, and the way that men's clothing kind of differs from women's clothing, because men's doesn't really follow the same like trend forecasting, and you're not changing things as much, and it's not as fast and quick. Like, oh, that's a nice picture.
You said Caprice.
Oh, I said
So I
Caprice.
assumed.
So, like, how did that, you know, did that kind of put you behind the 8 ball, like, when it comes to being in a competition like this, you know?
You know, if I would have known what the actual, you know, men, women, stuff like that beforehand, you know, I would have thought about doing women's. But when you get there, you're like, no way, these people are way more advanced than, you know, what you can think you could do. But I mean, honestly, I don't know how many guys really go and buy stuff online as far as after watching a TV show. It's definitely something that, you know, difficult to do. So I don't think many guys were buying stuff.
Well, I think, well, I don't. You can attest to this. You're getting married, and you know you're married. Like, do you shop
Maybe
more for
yeah.
your man? Like, like if you see something online, do
No.
you shop for him? Does he shop for himself? Like,
He shops for himself.
I mean,
I go with him, but I'm not. He's so picky. I'm not gonna even take a chance because I'm gonna have to return 75% of what I have to.
does he shop online?
No.
Oh,
No.
interesting. So you might.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
a
that
good
is
point.
right, because, I mean, and my fiance watched the show with me, and he would kind of comment along, like, oh, I would wear that.
He
I
liked
would
me,
not.
though, for sure.
He likes,
For sure.
he's an Express guy. Like, he, you know, he's just your average. He likes Express. But even, I'll buy stuff from Express, and I'll return it, and thinking it's his style.
Yeah,
So it's
me
like,
too.
I won't even really do
there
that.
is a lot of women, like, I love to dress up my boyfriend. I think, you know, like, I mean, I think he's like gorgeous. So I'm like, this is what I want you to wear.
Right, right.
He's
And
like
he
my
lets you.
Kendall.
See, that's the he lets you. A lot of guys, like, I wish I could, but my
Yeah.
husband was like, no, that pocket's weird.
But definitely,
Oh, I
like,
get
there's
that.
like more women watching the show than men, you know. But the few men, I think, like, for instance, Express is like a great men's store to shop. So I think there was a few men like shopping from Express, and in Macy's, I think, you know, there's also that. But for Saks, I think it would be harder for men to shop online.
Because I have a hard time buying something for myself from
Yeah,
Saks. I'm
yeah.
not allowed to buy that for my fiance because that's just too expensive. Like, guys don't.
But if you and your fiance are watching the show together, and this makes a point, then you can say, "Do you like that, honey?" And you can go and buy it for him.
Yeah.
So it does make some
That-
sense.
that
Depends on
would
if you're
work,
watching it
actually.
together, and
Yeah.
maybe that's why they put it on Friday night, because maybe you're watching it with a boyfriend.
It's like a family
or
show.
If, you know, or you're
Yeah.
watching it with your son, and the mom goes out and buys it for their son the next day. So there is some men's, but I think predominantly you've got your girls who going, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love that dress. I
Yeah.
got to get it."
Yes.
It's
So
true.
what I want to know from the two of you guys here, did the right person, in your opinion, obviously other than yourselves, win?
I think, I mean, we all had the same opportunities. We all had the same challenges. So whoever, I mean, Hunter won. I think she earned it because we all had the same opportunity to give it all, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I'm really happy for her. I think it's great. I think we all needed that, like, to be part of the show. But again, like, what's great about Fashion Star is even if you don't win till the end, selling every week and, you know, winning challenges and being exposed to 150 countries, I mean, that's a big deal. So I felt like we all left as winners, you know. So it's really great. And of course, congrats to Hunter. Now her store, like, all the stores have her collection.
Right.
So it's really awesome. But she definitely earned it.
Yeah.
So
And did
Oh, speaking of wins, have you got your car yet?
Of course, it's outside.
Is it really?
Yay! Congrats.
You did get your car? Wow, I didn't know. I thought they would give it to you like 6 months later.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
So did you guys think that Hunter's collection in that finale was the best out of the three?
I think they were all really great collections. Again, we're all like really different, like our aesthetics. I really love Daniel's and I love Cassandra's. I think everyone had the little niche, but I mean, Hunter, was selling every week, so it like I think that the buyers really felt
You
that.
kind
it
of had to give it
represented
to her. I mean, she sold every
Her
single week.
her
I mean,
consistency was
banging
there.
dollars.
Yeah, her consistency was
I also
there.
feel like she came in with some of the most experience, though. Like she'd already sold to Saks. She already kind of knew what they wanted.
I've sold to those stores before,
Yeah,
but I mean, not in the, it's hard to sell those stores, but she's been doing it for a while. I've heard about her line like 5-6 years ago, 4 or 5, something like that. This girl wanted her stuff. Yeah, hey, you heard of Hunter Dixon, stuff like that. So she's been around.
So you don't think that like having already sold to one of those stores, it doesn't give you like an advantage over anybody else? You don't think so?
Don't think so. I think just pure talent is where it's at.
Daniel was completely brand new, and he made it to the last 3. And he was a newbie.
I think Daniel could have won if
I
he
do
wasn't
too.
so extreme and so, sometimes a lot of designers are, it's either my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And if he would have went with, what people would have liked him to do, he would have probably won and probably would have gotten bought more.
So
but he's like
basically,
his
he
thing.
should
It's
have
either
listened
my,
a little more.
For
Yeah.
That's what
sure.
you're saying.
He's a stud though.
I
He's
do
a
have
good
to
guy.
say, out of the 3 collections, I love Daniel's collection.
I did too.
I loved all of them, but I was sad he didn't win because there are items in his collection I wanted. There was so many items within his collection that were stellar.
I found myself feeling like I wanted to take different parts out of each of them, and put it together. Like I loved Cassandra's collection for Express. I thought it was right on.
Yeah.
It made sense. She got the girl. I love Daniel's collection for Saks, and then I love Hunter's collection for Macy's. I wish I could have put those 3 together, and it just would have been the ultimate.
It does suck because a lot of their stuff was really good. I mean,
Yeah, it
there was at least
was.
3 from each one that was like,
So
whoa.
good.
And guess what? Nobody ever gets to buy it. So you'll have to
Yeah,
go
it
check everybody
sucks,
out and
right?
see what they're doing and see if they make that again.
And,
And
the
I
crazy
thought-
part, they had 4 days to make all of this happen, and that's why you I know I totally feel the way you feel, but it's like because they had so little time that they were able to focus really quickly on everything, and they just
Right.
tried their best. So they all have like the line that's stronger, like you said. There's like I loved like Daniel Saks collection
Oh, my
too.
God.
So there's like all different collections that were a little bit stronger because of the time frame for them.
I actually thought that they were going to do a bid for each item, and still buy it. I didn't realize.
Oh, no,
And
that's
watching
it.
it, I didn't realize
Yeah.
that was it. I thought they were going to still buy it, and then I was
That's
so
it.
disappointed when
Yeah.
it was just one
and then
collection.
something, I don't know if you guys saw it, you could see it on NBC Fashion Star Online, is that myself, Garrett and Jessie Ray, and who else was it? Sylvia, we came back to help them at the end.
Oh,
So we
okay.
all came back and we helped them for the last day, and it was really crazy because when we came there, they had before we only had 1 pattern maker helping us, and now they had like 4 pattern makers helping them to finish everything. So we helped them out, and with fabrics and fittings and just like little things,
Was it tough being in that position, knowing that like you were helping them and you hadn't made it to that stage?
I mean,
or-
maybe for other people, but for me, I mean, I thought it was a compliment
fun.
for them to
Yeah.
have me come back and help them out, because I would like for someone to help me if I was in that situation, So it was really cool that I was able to, work with him and help him and give him my advice, and for him to feel confident, because every time we partner up, we would blow out and sell, So for me to give him that confidence at the end, okay, I got this, it was really cool.
So you were partnered with Daniel?
Yeah. So we
Okay.
went back to help our partners.
Oh,
At the
okay.
end, at the finale.
So did you give him any advice? Did he ask you, what do
Yeah.
you think about this and that?
Like we had fittings, we were working on fittings. I helped him put the models together, and I told him to make sure that everything is sellable. We changed colors, like that blue dress for, I think it was Macy's.
Express.
No, that was Express. Yeah, that tiered blue dress.
No, there was another blue dress that was fitted. It was navy blue with like
Oh,
mesh.
yeah, that one.
Yes,
was
I
great.
love
So
that dress.
when I came in, that dress was fuchsia. And then Sylvia and I and Daniel, we were like, oh my gosh, I think you should change the color. So we changed a few colors because some colors were brighter than what they were. So we were able to help them out. And I think Jessie Ray and Garrett also helped Hunter. So it was really
Oh,
nice.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
That's
wish they would have
really
showed
cool.
that a little bit.
Yeah, you can check it out online on NBC
All right.
Fashion Star. There's a little scene of us helping them out.
Well, as we wrap this up, I want to know from you guys, how has being on the show, how's it changed your lives?
I mean, I guess it's sort of like you have to wait and see what really happens. I mean, after I left the show, I just got right back into it. Then,
Yeah.
pretty much the next day, I was back doing my line cohesive and just, getting it going. Honestly, I went to fashion school on the show. I'm a better designer, better, more confidence than ever, and my line shows it.
Yeah.
And it's only getting better. I actually never thought I was a designer. And now, you know, if anything, I don't care about the fame or anything that comes out of it. It made me a better person. It showed me that I can do more than just design. You know, and I can actually do things in time and make. It was hard to make those decisions, you know,
especially under pressure.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and that's something where like I mean, it's like part of being a designer. You have to know how to design quickly and meet your deadlines. So it was really fun to do it on TV, you know, because it's like it's nice to share with everyone that being a designer is not just glamorous. It's like a lot of work. And like for me, like you know, it's really helped me to be known like all over the world and expanding my brand globally. Like I'm leaving to China on Monday.
Wow.
And there's been like a lot of like press where I could share my story because again, you know, as a designer for myself, I didn't come from the glamorous world either. It took a lot of work for me to start designing at 19 and working for corporate brands. So it's nice to have a great following, to hear all those ladies that had bought the designs from Fashion Star. They're like, I love it. Like this one's from Express. So it's
That's
really
so
cool
cute.
to see like everyone sharing their pictures and, you know, and just taking, you know, my brand to the next level, which is, you know, to these big department stores. As a young designer, this is like a dream come true for all of us, you know?
So basically, right after the show, you jumped right back into it as well. Just back
like,
into designer mode, doing what you do.
Yeah, and then people, you know you, they call you, they want to do things with you. There's, you know, big brands that want to work with you. It's just a big blessing. It's really awesome.
Nice. Nice. Do you guys have any more questions?
I think that's
That-
it.
yeah.
Because I could keep answering all day long. Keep it coming.
Unless there's anything else that we missed that you guys want to bring up.
I would love for everyone to follow me at glaudycollection.com and on Twitter. I really love sharing, you know, where I'm going, and I love everyone to see that, you know, after Fashion Star, like what comes, and I think it's I think you guys should audition next time, you know, for season 3. Hopefully there's a season 3, and just believe in you guys and in yourself, and just have big goals, and you never know where it's going to take you. You know, just work really hard, and you'll be a fashion star.
And to her point, what's a piece of advice that you would give to a budding designer, somebody who wants to audition for the show? What advice would you give them?
I actually have some people that I'd like to put on the show, and I talk to them about it. A lot of them are just hesitant. I don't know. I'm like, you just gotta do things that you don't want to do, and more things come out of them.
Risk.
Honestly, I was scared to be on TV, and then you get this huge thing of paperwork from lawyers and NBC. You're like, oh man, I don't want that. I mean, there's sleepless nights. You're like thinking about that. But honestly, it gets you things that you never thought that you would get. I mean, it puts you in the places that you don't want to be, and sometimes you need to get in those places to actually move on in life and get, you know, what you really deserve. So that's about it with that.
Now, you did admit one thing, right? I think, I don't know if it was, we had gone live yet, but you said that you didn't watch this first season of Fashion Star.
Oh, we were live when that happened.
Did you watch the first season of Fashion Star? Did you know what you were getting yourself into?
She probably watched every single one.
Well, I travel a lot, so I wasn't able to watch every single one, but I watched a few of them. And what I loved about Fashion Star, once again, it's like you get to design for these big department stores. As other shows, if you don't win, you don't win. You know what I mean? Like, you go back to, like, struggling. But it's like, this is just, like, I think it makes every designer a fashion star, because it just opens doors that are, like, amazing.
So you knew what you were getting yourself into.
Kind of, but I did, but the only thing I did not, I just, like, the thing that stressed me out is, like, being in a reality show and working, like, I knew it was going to be crazy, because as designers, we have, like, crazy deadlines. It's, like, it brings out everything from you, so I just wanted to make sure that, you know, like, whatever I do on TV, it's, like, my best, because, I mean, everyone's watching, so that's just, like, the exposure. So it's, like, you really had to know that, you know, whatever you do, everyone's gonna see you, and you're exposing yourself. So you have tough skin and take everyone's compliments or advice as, like, you know, constructive criticism to be better. You know.
Definitely.
I did have one more question for David. So you said you have your own line. Where else can we find you right now?
I'm sold in all door Bloomingdale's. I also have a kids line in Bloomingdale's.
All door Bloomingdale's.
Yes.
I used to be a buyer for Bloomingdale's.
I know we talked about this. You can buy my line on cohesiveapparel.com, and pretty much all boutiques in LA and around the US.
Nice.
So it's very cool. I got a bunch of projects coming up soon, so you'll be seeing a lot of me, and hopefully more of this, and hopefully more of, you know,
voiceovers?
No,
Radio?
Is this what we're doing?
No. I'm just saying, your voice is just. And
I spent
Tiana, she's blushing here.
I spent all day working on my voice.
That's why he made it to Fashion Star, guys.
That's why he made
his voice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Don't
why.
you hear it?
Exactly why.
Buy my line cohesive. It's at Bloomingdale's. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming into the studio and dishing with
Thank you,
us. One more time, where can we find you? And your line.
www.cohesiveapparel.com.
What about Twitter? You on Twitter?
You can follow me at David Appel FS and on Instagram at Stay Cohesive.
All right. And Miss Johanna over here on the couch?
GloudyCollection.com and at Gloudy Joanna on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Awesome. And ladies, Virginia?
You guys can follow me at Instagram at Virginia Arena, and you can check out my store, yourstrulyla.com.
And you can find me, Erica Vieira, at Twitter at Erica Vieira LA. And I also have a clothing line with my sister, and that's called Rally Babe. So rallybabe.com.
I'm Deanna Vaughn, and I don't have a clothing line, but you can find me on Twitter at GoToGirlTV. That's GO2 Girl TV. Thanks, guys. This has been the finale for Fashion Star. I know, right? Last one. We hope you enjoy tuning in with us every single week. Again, you can still go online. You can go on YouTube. You can download the show and rate us and make comments because we will still be there. And
as hosts, we'll be doing other shows.
yeah,
here
we do
at
other
AfterBuzz,
shows here. So
follow us. We'll keep you
follow
posted.
us if y'all like Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I do.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.